What's up, guys? It's Corey's Corner here with another video, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recording some videos for when I'm away. Because as you guys may not know, or may know, I don't know, as you might have heard in my last video, I'm going to be going away for a month, and I won't be able to make videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-record like a few of them. So the last 3 videos on my channel are all going to be like recorded in the last like day, or in the same day, and I'm just going to bring them with me on like a USB or something. So I'm planning ahead, but hey, what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be doing a bit of a story time. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story of my one of my worst rejections, not my first, but I'm just going to be telling you guys this story. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. So this was in I'm not sure what year actually it was in, but it was in my country, year 8, which is, let me just check what it is in America. Okay, so it's 7th grade. So if you're from America, I was in the 7th grade. I don't really remember how old I was, but I was like the youngest kid in my class, like the second youngest. And at the start of the year, so what we have a 2 schools. We have primary school and we have secondary school in my country. So we don't have middle school. So the 7th grade is like the second year of secondary school. So I'd just done 1 year of it, and you know it was what it was. But at the start of the second year, what they made us do was in all of our classes, they sat us in alphabetical order, in like a line. So there'd like be a row of desks, and they'd sit us one by one. And my name, obviously Corey, I was like one of the first. I was at the front. So it's like the 3rd in the alphabet. But they also set us boy girl, because I guess they thought we wouldn't like talk or something. So anyway, I shared a lot of my classes with this one girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she was like next to my name, you know what I mean? So she sat next to me in like a lot of my classes, and she was, looking back, honestly, she's probably only like a 6 or a 7 out of 10, but at the time I thought I probably like bigged her up in my own head, I guess. I don't know exactly what it was about her that I liked, but I don't know, like at the time I just really liked her for some reason. Yeah, I'm not really even sure why. I mean, she was alright, she wasn't ugly, but the thing is I'd never talked to her either, so it's not like I liked her because she was like nice to me or anything, because she wasn't. I'd never talked to her at all. And I talked to her a couple of times I tried to talk to her a couple of times in our classes, and she just like basically just ignored me, which, yeah, anyway, I'm used to it, but yeah, at the time it kind of sucked. Anyway, so at the time I had a friend who I hadn't gone to primary school with, so he told me like a bunch of the stuff he'd done in primary school, and he was lying, obviously, but he was telling me all this shit, like how he'd like had loads of girlfriends in primary school, and how he'd like kissed them and stuff, and how the school had made them break up for kissing, which is just such a lie, obviously. And he was trying to act cool and like, oh, it only ruined my day, but I got over it and I got a new girlfriend and stuff. And he's just clearly lying. But at the time I kind of wasn't sure. I kind of thought he was lying, but I don't know, I thought like maybe he kind of knew what he was talking about. So when I was in the 7th grade, I got the bus to school, and it took about 20 or 30 minutes to get there because I lived kind of far away. And my friend also got the bus, and we sat next to each other. That's how we became friends, because on the first day we sat next to each other. But anyway, I kind of asked him on the bus, I was asking him for advice. I was like, oh, there's this girl I like, what should I do? I shouldn't have asked him, but I did. And he was like, oh, you should just ask her out, bro, and be confident and stuff. And he was such a he wasn't even a Chad, because he didn't even look, he was like a 5 out of 10 maybe, if that. But yeah, he was like a real normie. He was like, just be confident, just ask her out and stuff. And I was like, fine, okay, fine. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to ask her out, but I didn't want to do it in front of people, you know. I'd already asked out like 2 girls up until this point, and both times I'd got rejected, but it wasn't like too bad. They just rejected me, but they weren't like mean about it or anything, so I didn't really care. And at the time I still was kind of hopeful, because it's only 2 girls, right? It's not that big of a deal. So I thought I'll ask her out somewhere where it's just us. So one of our classes, it was a history class. I remember everyone else kind of left and she was packing up, and it was just a teacher in there, and I was going to do it, but I was too nervous for some reason. So I didn't end up doing it then, and I kind of told him about it the next day, and he was like, oh, you should have asked her out, bro. And I was like, fine. He was like, oh, you just need to be confident and stuff. So anyway, I was like, fine. Anyway, so a few days passes and I'm still waiting for like an opportunity. Anyway, so I don't know if like he told me or if I found out somehow, but basically at the time of this one day, it was like lunch break, and in our school lunch breaks were like 40 minutes, and so what they did was in this hall we had in our school, it was like a hall they used for like sports and like assemblies and stuff, and doing tests. Basically it was just this big hall, and what they'd done is they cleared out, and at lunch they were having like sales. So they had like bake sales and stuff. I guess they were like probably raising money for something, but it was all like laid out with like tables and stuff, and loads of people were like coming into the hall. So anyway, I was like, okay, maybe she's in there. So I went in there, and she was in there, and I kind of remembered I was really nervous, and I kind of knew as soon as I started talking to her this was like a dumb idea, but I remembered like what he'd said earlier, and like how I hadn't asked her out last time. I was like, come on, don't be a pussy, just ask her out, right? So I went up to her and I was like, hey, and she was like, oh, hi, and she said my name. She knew my name. She was like, hey, Corey, and I was like, what's up? I was surprised she knew my name, because as I said, I'd never even talked to her. I mean, I guess we sat next to each other, so in hindsight, obviously, it's kind of obvious why she knew my name, but I'm just, at the time, I was kind of like, whoa. Anyway, I asked her out. I was like, do you want to go to like the movies sometime? And I was really awkward about it. I was really shy as well, and at the time I was like kind of chubby, and I had like little glasses on my head. I don't wear glasses anymore, even though I kind of need to. I don't wear them because I don't like how I look with them, but as if it matters, as if it makes a difference either. But yeah, I don't wear them, but I just had no game at all. I mean, even if you were confident, it doesn't make a difference, but like there was no way she was going to say yes, and she was just like, oh, I'll think about it, and she just like ran away basically. And I was like, damn, I knew straight away that this was like a bad idea. So anyway, after that happens, I went out into this like yard outside of the hall where some of my friends were hanging out, including the guy I'd been talking to about this. And I went up to him, and he was like, did you ask her out? I was like, yeah. And he was like, how did it go? And I was like kind of annoyed at him. I was like, this is a really dumb idea. I shouldn't have asked her out and stuff. And he was like, what did she say? And I told him what she said, and he was like, oh, you should have followed it up with get back to me on that, as if that's gonna help. But yeah, I mean, he was kind of a normie, and so am I. I'm like a failed normie at this point, because I just want to believe so hard in the blue pill, but he was like hard into the blue pill, and he had like, throughout the time I knew him in school, he had like a couple of girlfriends, but they were all sub 4, if that. Like most of them were like 2s or 3s out of 10, and it's like they were either like really chubby or really fat, and they were just like not nice people, you know what I mean? But he did get girlfriends over the years, but he was telling me this shit, and I kind of knew it hadn't gone well, but I didn't realise how badly it had gone. So anyway, what happened next was, after lunch ended, we had one more lesson before the end of the day, and so it was like a science lesson. It was like chemistry, I think, but in our school, all of the science classrooms are in this one like block, this one like building, and there's only one door in and out of this building. So if you want to get in there, everyone has to go through this door, and it leads into like this corridor, and all the classrooms are along like the corridor, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I was heading to my next class, and everyone in my class was like already there for some reason. I guess I was late for some reason, but this door was like, it was like a glass door, so you can like see out of it, and there's like windows on either side of it, so like everyone can see in and out of it and that. So anyway, I'm walking up to this door, and everyone in my class like sees me, and they start like shouting and like cheering at me, and I'm like, what the hell? So anyway, I go up to the door, and it's a bunch of guys there, and they were like patting me on the back and stuff, and like congratulating me, and they were like, oh, well done. And I was like, why, what's going on? And I kind of realised what was going on, but I was like, why? And so basically what turns out what happened is, this is from what I can gather, because obviously I wasn't there when this happened, but she'd like ran to this class that was going on, right? I'm pretty sure when I asked her, it's actually like right at the end of lunch as well, because I don't know why, I just didn't want to ask her out at the start of lunch, I guess, because it'd be kind of awkward, just standing there, as if it wasn't awkward anyway. But yeah, so all these people were kind of congratulating me and stuff, and turns out there was this other guy there who was like, I didn't even know this when I asked her out, but this one guy apparently also liked her, and he was much higher above me in looks, you know what I'm saying? He was like a 7 out of 10 probably, but he wasn't like willing to ask her out, and people were like saying he was just too much of a pussy to ask her out, which I don't know, I don't care, but I'm just saying, like, people were like saying that I had like bigger balls than him and stuff, and like were impressed with me. That was all the guys. The girls weren't so impressed. Some of them were like looking at me like kind of angrily for some reason, as if it's like, I mean, I guess like I have the gall as a sub 5 to ask out a girl, I guess, I don't know, but that was it. But the thing about that class is I didn't sit next to her in that class because of the way the science class was laid out. It was like kind of different from the other classes, so I didn't sit next to her. But she sat like right behind me, and I could just feel the whole lesson, her stare, like everyone just looking at me, and I was just like, Jesus. But you know how it goes in school, like you know, like the next day it's just a new thing happens, and everyone like moves on, and everyone kind of forgot about it. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough because like the previous times I'd been rejected, it didn't go like that badly. You know, like no one else knew about it. But she like had run and like told everyone. She was like, "Corey asked me out. Oh my god!" And it was just very embarrassing at the time. Looking back, it's kind of funny, but at the time it was just a very embarrassing thing. And yeah, I really wasn't happy. And that's like the last time I ever asked out a girl, I think, like properly. Like I've talked to girls since then and stuff, but I've never said to a girl like, "Oh, hey, I like you. Do you want to go out and stuff?" Because it's just I know what's going to happen every single time I do it. It's just made me believe, to be honest, that it's impossible that any girl would even like me, just because it's kind of true. It's like why would they, right? It's like I didn't even do anything wrong in that situation. I didn't give her a reason not to like me, but straight away she just wasn't interested. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. And she wasn't even that good looking either. But that's the story of how I got rejected. And it was kind of awkward for the rest of the year because I like sat next to her in like loads of classes, and we just didn't even say anything to each other. It was awful. But anyway, that was that story. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to be recording another video. I'm going to record another story time video. I'm probably going to upload it before this one actually, so if you're watching this video, that one's probably already been released. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions for videos, or you want to ask me something or tell me something in the comments, comment, like, you know, subscribe. I'm going to be making more of these videos. If you guys have been rejected, let me know your stories, because it's tough out there. Life as a sub-5 is tough, so I want to hear it. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. That's about it. I'll see you guys next time.